Hi friends, I am Ashrafli and today we will discuss about environments in Latex software in which we will discuss about tabbing, table and table. First is tabbing. Its synopsis are begin tabbing row 1 column 1 backslash equal row 1 column 2 backslash equal row 1 column 3 backslash equal row 1 column 4 double backslash and row 2 column 1 backslash greater than row 2 column 3 double backslash and tabbing. Now we will go to the latex software and you can see them. The tabbing environment provides a way to align text in columns. It works by setting tab stops and tabbing to them, much as was done on an arbitrary typewriter. It is best suited for cases where the width of each column is constant and known is advanced. This environment can be broken across pages unlike the tabular environment. The following commands can be used inside a tabbing environment: double backslash tabbing, underline, backslash equal tabbing sets a tab stop at the current position. Backslash greater than tabbing advances to the next tab stop. Backslash less than following text to the left of the local margin without changing the margin. Can only be used at the start of the line. Backslash plus moves the left margin of the next and all the following commands one tab stop to the right beginning tabbed line if necessary. Backslash minus moves the left margin of the text next and all the following commands one tab stop to the left beginning tabbed line if necessary. Backslash comma tabbing moves everything that you have typed so far in the current column, that is everything from the most recent. Backslash greater than backslash less than backslash comma double backslash or kill command to right of the previous column flush against to the column current columns tab stop. Backslash punctuation tabbing all allows you to put text flushed right against any tab stop, including tab stop 0. However, it cannot move text to right of the last column because there is no tab stop there. The the command backslash comma command moves all the text all that follows it and up to the double backslash or end tabbing command that ends the line to right margin of the tabbing environment. There must be no backslash greater than or backslash comma command between the backslash comma and the command that ends the line. Backslash a tabbing. In a tabbing environment, the commands backslash equal, backslash comma, and backslash punctuation do not produce accents as usual. Instead, the commands backslash a comma, backslash a punctuation are used. Kill. Sets tab stops without producing text works just like double backslash except that it throws away the current line instead of producing output for it. The effect of any backslash equal, backslash plus or backslash minus commands in that line remain in effect. Backslash pop tabs restores the tab stop position saved by the last backslash push tabs. Push tabs saves all current tab stop positions, useful for temporarily changing tab stop positions in the middle of a tabbing environment. Backslash tabbing sip. Distance to the left of the tab stop moved by backslash comma. Begin tabbing function backslash factor n n colon integer semicolon double backslash greater than begun backslash equal backslash plus double backslash greater if backslash equal to n dollar sign greater back dollar sign 1 then backslash plus double backslash fact colon equal n star asterisk fact n minus 1 fact of n minus 1 backslash minus double backslash else backslash plus double fact colon equal to 1 semicolon backslash minus double backslash and semicolon double backslash and tabbing. Now we will go to the latex software and here are the function on latex software. 22 is table. Its synopsis are begun table, placement, table body, caption, loft, title, label of label, and table. We will go to the latex software. This is body of the table. A class of floats because they cannot be spread across pages. They are not typeset instance with the normal text, but instead are floated to a convenient place such as the top of the following page for the possible values of placement and their effect on the float placement algorithm. The table body is typeset in a power box of text width, and so it cannot contain text commands. The label is optional. It is used for cross references. The optional backslash caption command specifies caption text for the table. By default it is numbered if it left title. If a lot title is present, it is used in the list of the table instead of the title. In this example, the table and caption will floated to the bottom of the page unless it is posted to float page at the bottom. Now we'll go to the latex software, and its function is this is function. Can see them, it is but in bottom. (23) is tabular. Its synopsis are begun tabular, pause, columns, column 1 entry column 1 entry, column 2 entry, column n entry, double backslash and tabular. Are begun tabular asterisk width pause columns and column 1 entry, column 2 entry, column n entry, double backslash and tabular. These environments produce a table box consisting of a sequence of horizontal rows. Each row consists of items that are aligned vertically in columns. This illustrates many of the features. Begun tabular slash vertical bar slash and backslash text it player name aspirant text it career home runs double backslash hline Ashraf aspirant 800 Hamza 725 and tabular. Will go to the latex software. You can see that. The vertical format of two left aligned columns with the vertical bar between them is specified in Tabular's argument. Braces slash vertical bar slash columns are separated with an ampersand, and a horizontal rule between the rows is created with hline. The double backslash is optional after the last row unless an hline command follows to the put rule below or the table. The required and optional arguments to tabular consist of width is required for tabular, static not allowed for tabular. Specifies the width of tabular star environment. The space between the columns should be tabular as with at braces backslash extra clause p braces backslash fill braces 1 to allow the table to stretch or shrink to make the specified width, or else you are likely to get the under full backslash high box h box badness 10,000 in alignment warning. POS pause optional specifies the table's vertical position. The default is to align the table to so its vertical center matches the baseline of the surrounding text. There are two possible alignment. T aligns the table so its top row matches the baseline of the surrounding text. B aligns on the bottom row. This only has an effect if there is other text in the common case of tabular alone in the center environment. This option makes no difference. COLS columns calls records specifies the formatting of columns. It consists of a sequence of the following specifiers corresponding to the types of the column and intercolumn material. I a column of left aligned atoms. R a column right aligned atoms. C a column centered atoms. Vertical bar a vertical line that full height and depth of the environment. This inserts text or space at this location in every row. The text or space material is typeset in LR mode. This text is fragile. This specifier is optional unless you put in your own at expression. Then Latex book article and report classes will put on either side of each column a space of length. Tab clause P, which by default is 6 point. This that is by default. Adjacent columns are separated by 12 point. So tab clause P is misleadingly named since it is not the separation between the tabular columns. Also by default a space of 6 point comes before the first column as well as after the final column unless you put at braces or vertical bar there. If you override the default and use an at expression, then you must insert any desired space yourself, as in at backslash high space braces 1 em braces and an empty expression at braces will eliminate the space, including the space at the start or end, as in the example below where the tabular lines need to lie on the left margin. Begin flush left, begin tabular at braces vertical bar, and end tabular and flush left. Now we'll go to the Latex software. Something we will write here, for example LL the Latex software show them in left side. This example shows text is a decimal point between the columns arranged so numbers in the table are arranged on that decimal point. Backslash begin tabular r at braces dollar sign dot dollar sign vertical bar dollar sign 3 dollar sign at ampersand dollar sign 14 dollar sign double backslash dollar sign 9 dollar sign ampersand dollar sign 80665 dollar sign and tabular. We will go to the latex software. You can see them. An extra clause p of wd command in an at expression causes an extra space of width wd to appear to the left of all subsequent columns until countermanded by another extra clause p command. Unlike ordinary inter-column space, this extra space is not suppressed by an at expression, and an extra clause p command can be used only in an at expression in the columns argument. Below, latex inserts the right amount of inter-column space to make the entire table 4 inches wide. Begin center tabular at static 4 inch vertical bar at braces double backslash bar dots backslash extra close p braces backslash fill braces and backslash brace and KK ILL and O and tabular static and center. Will go to the latex software. You can see them on latex. To insert commands that are automatically executed before a given column, load the array package and use the greater than braces specifier. P of WD, each atom in the column is typeset in a firebox of width WD. Note that a line break double backslash may not appear in the atom except inside an environment like mini page, array or tabular, or inside an expect backslash powerbox, or in the scope of a centering rigid right or rigid left declaration. When used in a p column the element, these declaration must be inside braces as with the curly bracket start centering double backslash and braces end. Otherwise latex will in min interpret the double backslash as ending the row. Asterisk num of columns is equivalent to the num copies of columns, where num is a positive integer and columns is a list of specifiers. Thus begin tabular vertical bar static 3 and braces slash vertical bar r and vertical bar is equivalent to the begin tabular vertical bar slash vertical bar r slash vertical bar r slash vertical bar r vertical bar. Note that column COLS may contain another asterisk expression parameters that control formatting. Array rule width, a length that is the thickness of the rule created by vertical bar, hline and vline in the tabular and array environment. The default is 4 point. Change it as in set length curly brackets backslash array rule width curly brackets 0.8 point array stretch. A factor by which the spacing between the rows in the tabular and array environment is multiplied. The default is 1 for no scaling. Change it as renew command braces array stretch and 1.2 double 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 roll ship. A length that is the distance between the vertical rolls produced by the double backslash specifier default is 250. Tab backslash tab close p. A length that is half of the space between the columns. The default is 6 point. Change it with set length. The following commands can be used inside the body of the tabular environment. The first two inside an entry and the second two between the lines. Multi-column make an atom spanning several columns. V-line, dry, vertical line, C-line, dry, horizontal line spanning some columns. High-line, dry, horizontal line spanning all columns. And 23.1 its subsection is multi-column. Synopsis. Its synopsis are multi-column, num columns text. Make an array and tabular entry that spans several columns. The first argument num columns gives the number of the columns to span. The second argument column specifies the formatting of the entry that with C for centered, I for flush left, R for flush right, and third argument that gives the for argument text gives the contents of that entry. For example, in the first row, the second and third columns are spanned by the single heading name. Begin tabular slash cc slash text title of id multi-column 2 of c column and text title name, text title age, and highline row 1 row 2, and tabular will go to the latex software. You can see that what counts a column is the column formatted specified for the array or tabular environment is broken into parts where each part begins with I, C, R or P. So from begin tabular or CCP 1.5 inch, the parts are /R//CC and P of 1.5 inch. The COLS columns argument overrides the array or tabular environment's intercolumn area default adjoining this multi-column entry. To effect that area, this argument can contain vertical words indicating the placement of vertical rows and braces expression. Thus, if columns is vertical bar C or vertical bar, then this multi-column entry will be centered and vertical roll will be come in the intercolumn area before it and after it. This table details the exact behavior. Begin tabular array of braces backslash cc backslash c of cc and backslash multi-column 1 r of w percentage sign entry 1 and multi-column of 1 or slash of r x um, percentage sign or comment entry 2 multi-column of 1 or slash of r of y comment entry 3 of z comment entry 4 and tabular will go to the latex software. You can see them. Before the first entry, the output will not have a vertical rule because the multi-column has the CLS specifier on with no initial vertical bar. Between entry 1 and entry 2, there will be a vertical rule. Although the first CLS columns does not have an ending vertical bar, and the second CLS columns does have a straight starting one. Between entry 2 and entry 3, there is a single vertical rule. Despite that, CLS in both of the surrounding multi-columns call for a vertical rule, you only get one rule. Between entry 3 and entry 4, there is no vertical rule. The default calls for one, but the CLS in entry 3 multi-column leaves it output, and that takes precedence. Finally, following entry 4, there is a vertical rule because of the default. The number of span columns columns can be, besides giving the ability to change the horizontal alignment. This also is useful to override for one row the tabular definitions default intercolumn area specification, including the placement of vertical rules. In the example below, in the tabular definition, the first column is specified to default to to left, just justified, but it in the first row the entry is centered with multi-column of 1 of C text SC of period. Also, in the first row and second and third columns are spanned by the single entry with the multi-column of 2 of C and braces text SC of span, overriding the specification to center those two columns on the page range and dash. Begin tabular of slash vertical bar of R at braces slash multi-column of 1 C of text SC period, multi-column of 2 C text SC span, double backslash highline ashrafli 0011 classical 2233 and double backslash romantic 4455 impressionistic and 6677 and tabular. And we'll go to the latex software. You can see them. 23.2 vline. Draw a vertical line in a tabular or array environment and exceeding the full height and depth of array entries row can be also used in an expression, although its synonyms is vertical bar of is more than column. This command is already used. Typically at tables, vertical lines are specified in a tabular columns argument and overridden as needed with multi-column. This example illustrates some pitfalls in this. In the first line, second entry, the hyphen hfill moves the v line to the left edge of the cell, but that it is different than putting it halfway between two columns. So in that row between the first and second columns, there are two vertical rules where the one from the C of vertical bar CC specifier coming before the one produced by the backslash v line hfill. In contrast, the first line third entries show the a usual way to put vertical bar between two columns. In the second line, the G is the widest entry in its column, so in the vline hfill, the hfill has no effect and the vertical line in that entry appears immediately next to the G with no white space. Begin tabular C of vertical bar CC X V line H fill Y multi-columns of 1 slash of R of Z double slash ABC definition V line H fill G and tabular. We will go to the latex software. can see that. 23.3 C line synopsis are C line I dash J. Draw horizontal rule in an array or tabular environment beginning in columns or ending at column J. The dash must appear in the mandatory argument to span a single column using number of twice. This example puts two horizontal lines between the first and the second rows, one line in the first column only and the other spanning in the third and fourth columns. The two lines are side by side at the same height. Begin tabular of double backslash RR ABCD double backslash C line 1 1 C line 3 4 E of G H and tabular to go to the Latex software. 23.4 Highline. Draw the horizontal line in the width of the enclosing tabular or array environment. It's most commonly used to draw a line at the top or bottom and trim the rows of the table. This example, the top of the table has two horizontal rules in one above the other and that span both columns. The bottom of the table has a single rule spanning both columns because of the backslash highline. The tabular second rows and highline ending table backslash is required. Begin tabular double slash highline baseball red socks basketballs Saltex highline and download to the Latex software. Friends, thanks for listening to me. Have a good day and don't forget to subscribe my channel.